I see you. Die hard. Trap. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard. Homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell a trophy, yeah, he need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name and it's on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back. Make the whole crowd rise like a thermostat. Fourth quarter, I'm the killer that's gonna murder that.
It's the kid, Die Hard Knicks podcast, Die Hard E-Ru in the place to be. Listen, man, I got a beautiful young lady on the screen here, Rebecca Haarlow. We're going to start that off here right out the gate. You know, thank you, Rebecca Haarlow, for coming through and doing your thing with the Knicks. When she first got here, I didn't like her. You know what I'm saying? Just tell you the truth. I didn't like her because she was replacing a different young lady, which I can't remember her name right now, which is ironic, you know, because Rebecca Haarlow ended up becoming a big-time fan favorite, especially from this channel. You know, just the way she carried herself, the way she represented the Knicks and just herself and stuff like that. And she also had a side gig too. So that's what she's going to concentrate on. She's going to concentrate doing the Rebecca Haarlow Communications. So if you Google that, you know, there's actually a whole website where she just teaches people how to communicate and better their business and stuff like that. So she's been doing that on top of doing whatever she does with the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? On top of, you know, recently having a child and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, big up to Rebecca Haarlow. The reason why I'm pointing her out and you know, and I should have pointed out other things going on with the Knicks also, is just the hard work of a mature human being. You know, somebody that puts in the work and you never hear any scandals really. You know, I don't know if you want to call her and Wally getting together being a scandal. You know what I'm saying? But just being a grown up, doing your thing, and then just keeping it moving. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to you know, moving on to the next level or to concentrate on what you really feel passionate about, you just step away and just do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sugar Ray, what's his name? Sugar Ray Richardson. He used to play for the Knicks. He's going to come out with a autobiography book, you know, talking about his life and stuff like that. Mistakes in life. You know what I'm saying? He stood on business, you know, knowing that he made mistakes with drugs and was very transparent. And so in the excerpt that I read from his book, you know, he's very transparent in his life about the mistakes that he's made and you know, the stuff that was really happening and what could have been and what happened. And you know, and then he also had a nice redemption also. You know, so you have that too, you know, that you know, people can get spanked on the wrists or they get themselves in trouble or just, you know, life comes at them and you know, they go through a hard time and they're able to bounce back and do what they got to do. But you know, today of course we're talking about you know, Mitch Robinson, right? So we'll get into that in a second. You know, but let's talk about the Knicks here. This is from the Roommate Show. They asked people in the crowd, who was, to me, most of these guys in the crowd, not to be disrespectful to other Knicks fans and stuff, but this doesn't seem like, this crowd didn't really seem like a real Knicks crowd. You know, it just seems like these guys were only around from Melo, you know, because they asked them, who could you bring back from a former Knick, you know, to help this team out? Everybody said Melo. I think one person might have said Amari. Like somebody might have said, I think one person might have said Ewing. But my thing is, like, the only answer is Ewing. The only answer is Ewing. But that's the mentality of the current Knicks fan. The mentality of the current Knicks fan. And I'm probably talking to some people that might be glancing through here. I'm not talking about the regular guys that are usually in here, because people that usually pop up in here usually have a like-minded opinion about the Knicks when it comes to that. You know, to here or there, everybody has their little pros and cons and stuff, their little pet peeves and stuff. But my thing is like the only subject that we've been talking about this offseason that we really need to improve on was the center position. We need to improve the center spot. The other conversation is we need to trade Julius Randle. Julius Randle sucks. He get him off the team, this and the other. He needs to pass the ball. Oh, Mikal Bridges is going to score more points than Julius Randle this year. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get what people are watching when it comes to these Knicks. But what I do get it. People don't want to. This is why James Dolan, had 20 years worth of futility with the Knicks because he kept getting involved because he knows Knicks fans ain't trying to win. Knicks fans don't want to see a team full of scrappers or have a team that we currently have where we can go 1 through 10. It seems like, and we'll have a quality player at every position. Nobody wants that. They want that savior. The sports writers throughout the years, savior, savior, savior. Oh, we only have one basketball. Who's going to share the basketball? This, that, and the other. But when fans talk, they want Melo they want prime Melo to be added to this team. You want to know why? Because they want Julius Randle out. And another thing too, they think Mitchell Robinson is the answer at center. You know what I'm saying? They think Mitchell Robinson. They think they as long as Mitchell Robinson is healthy, they think we don't have any problems at center. And I just think that is the most frustrating thing about being a Knicks fan. The most frustrating thing about being a fan that we're supposed to be the most knowledgeable fan base in the world. And I want to say like the last 10 years since 2018, since I've been doing this, I just been seeing a progressive change and what the the just the knowledge of Knicks fans, just the passion, or just what they're watching and what the history is. It's the culture in general. You forget about the past and what happened before. Everything is now. So guys, people only go back as far as what they can remember, I guess. But Patrick Ewing was literally in the playoffs for 13 years. Hall of Famer, the greatest Knick of all time, broke basically every record that we have. You know what I'm saying? Put the team on his back, whatever you want to say. Never had any help. Averaged three. I want to say he might have averaged close to 4 blocks a game on 1 year. 28 points per game 1 year. But a guy like that did that for like 13 years is not the guy that you want to help this current team because Melo, with you see the guy with doing his fingers there, the Melo three to the dome. That's what we need to make this team better. When we already have an OG, we already have a Mikal Bridges, we already have a Julius, but no, this team needs Melo. So I have to say that before I start this rant here because I feel like Knicks fans are lost. Sometimes I feel like when I have conversations with people that like that's why I like the NBK fan because we have the experience. Most of us are like over 40, or close to it. And we remember the early days. We have respect for the years before us. We don't talk badly about Clyde and those guys because we never seen them. This young crowd that only knows Melo, they don't want to talk about the Knicks. They talk about the 90s Knicks because their dad talks about the 90s Knicks. And when they talk about the 90s Knicks, all they want to talk about is Charles Oakley. They don't want to give anything else credit. And it's the people that enjoy the podcasts like the Roommates podcast. People that like to enjoy these podcasts that they have their guests, they have their guests and the guests make the show. It's not necessarily about the who's hosting or whatever. It's just whoever is the guest on there. And it is what it is, man. It kind of stresses me out because I do this pod, like sometimes I would like to get people on here so we can go back and forth about certain things. But a lot of times, like you get into like, oh, who am I going to get on this podcast to make the podcast better? Well, to big up my show. I gotta get a whole panel of people on here, so they can make my show better. Or I gotta get a sports writer here, so that'll get people to watch my show. Oh, let me see if I can interview a 90s basketball player. That way I can actually, hey, LJ, for the 40th time, what did you feel when you made that 4-point play? Like, like for the 50th thousandth time, tell the same story you've been telling for fucking 20 something years. So anyway, I'm just kind of just ranting about nonsense. But not for nothing, I've been ranting about nonsense for quite a few years now. And it just comes to stuff like this, man. So let's just get into the Mitchell Robinson stuff here. Before we get into that, here goes another cocksucker here. Not Mitchell, Frank Ntilikina. Frank Ntilikina is not even 30 yet, bro. And he's playing in another country. It's nice to see. It's nice to see, but this is where he belongs. He doesn't belong to in the NBA. But how many years did we devote arguing about this guy? I mean, I got into arguments with guys who were really mad, and you pop into like the comments, and you want to talk about people sending me emails and stuff like that, threatening me because I keep talking badly about Frank Ntilikina. Come on, man. Not now the dude is not even an NBA and he's not even 30 yet. He's not even 30 years old yet. I mean, he's just approaching his prime. So anyway, are we at Mitchell Robinson? Yes, we are. This is Mitchell Robinson. So big up to Ian Bagley. Ian Bagley's our guy. I have no problems with Ian Bagley. He just reports whatever he hears, and that's it. I love the way he approaches it because it just reminds me of the old school reporting. Is that like I don't want to hear about. I don't want your opinion about the team because I know more about basketball than you. What you are is a reporter that you're there. You can ask the players questions. There's stuff that behind the scenes or whatever, or maybe the stuff that you might not know, but you're just going to report on what's happening and not what you think is happening and stuff like that. That's one reason why I like Ian Bagley. You know what I'm saying? Because he's just going to report what's happening and he'll make a comment about what's been happening, whatever. So I'll get into that in a second. So anyway, he just says, basically just drops the news on us that Mitchell Robinson is going to be out. He's going to miss the beginning of the season. I think we all knew that, but I don't think we knew it to this extent. Or December, maybe January. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we all know that he busted his ankle. He busted his ankle twice because through making this pod and looking to make thumbnails and stuff like that, I realized that he had busted his ankle a couple. Not realized, I just remember that he busted his ankle a couple years back where he was laying on the floor and stuff like that. Like I said, we'll get into that as time goes on. But he has a reoccurring injury with his ankles. He also has problems with his hips. He got problems with his lower back. He got problems with his legs in general. And the guy's always hurt, man. So what you gonna do? Sliding on over here. This is just a picture of Mitchell Robinson here leaning back. Always. I mean, the guy's just always hurt, man. It's nothing I can really say. You know, sliding on down here. This just brings it back to what happened with Embiid. So Embiid gets rewarded for being a bully, being the dirtiest player in the NBA. They gave him another extension, which brings his money up to like $300 million that he's owed over the next couple of years or whatever. So I mean, he's averaged 30 points per game. Still can get 10 rebounds or so. Still can get you like almost 2 blocks per game. The guy could shoot threes like a guard. You know what I'm saying? He's a good basketball player. Is he like the cleanest basketball player? Is he the most likable person? No, but he gets the job done at what at his position. And Mitchell Robinson, on just to contrast, for whatever Mitchell Robinson does on the court, which is supposed to be offensive rebounding, defensive plays and stuff like that. Like he's not dirty like Joel Embiid. Now, if Mitchell Robinson was not as dirty as Joel Embiid, he's trying to hurt people, but at least out there being really physical and stuff like that, outside of the athletic plays that Mitchell Robinson is known for, then Mitchell Robinson will have more of a value to the team. Because being 7 foot, I think he's like 7'1", typical size for a center as far as weight is concerned. You know what I'm saying? So he has the full thing. But like I said, he doesn't bring any leadership to the team. He doesn't bring any leadership at all. You know what I'm saying? If anybody else gets into a fight and Mitchell Robinson's on the court, Mitchell Robinson is not involved. Not saying that he needs to start fighting, but at least get in there and pull his player out, get in there and just stop getting between the thing to prevent a fight. Stuff that the real and leaders do at the center spot. Mitchell Robinson does not bring that. Shout out to Dante DiVincenzo. Dante DiVincenzo was the one that stepped to Embiid when Embiid was on his shenanigans during the playoffs. Dante DiVincenzo, one of the smallest guys on the court. You know what I'm saying? Mitchell Robinson, literally the biggest guy on the court, next to Embiid, and he didn't step to him. After the fact, he might have walked over and said something. You know what I'm saying? But how many players have gotten hurt or gotten into almost near fights, especially Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson is just standing there watching. So I think that's the major thing with Mitch, because like I said, if he's hurt or whatever, you have to be able to be that enforcer, or you have to be that leader. Being able to tell guys where to go on defense, direct traffic. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Outside of making the great out of the defensive play, the effort play. So my question to you is, what happens now when this guy keeps blowing his ankles out all the time? What happens with these athletic plays? They're going to be few and far between now. And I just feel like after all these years now, because it's been years, like when do we start to look elsewhere? When do we stop talking about him? Like, because other teams, would have let the players go for less, that's been happening. Shout out to my man Tony Crow here. He said it's not Mitch's fault, as Embiid hurt him and stuff like that. But is it Mitchell Robinson's fault that he's shooting 30% from the free throw line, though? Whose fault is it that Mitch Robinson can't get the ball and score on the inside without trying to do this athletic dunk and miss it? You know, he still can't shoot a jump shot. I can't trust him shooting a jump shot at any part of the court. You know what I'm saying? I can't trust him to close space. You know what I'm saying? To at least be an option on offense. I can't trust him to do any of that. So whose fault is that? Being injured, whatever it happens. Julius Randle blew his shoulder out. But since I mentioned that, Julius Randle hurt both ankles. And he almost he missed a big portion of the season, but he came back for the playoffs. And everybody was complaining. Everybody's pod that I jumped on, and people were commenting and calling into the shows and stuff. We're all talking about how Julius Randle, oh, I don't care. Julius Randle, if he was hurt or not, he got to bring that effort. He got to bring that effort. You know what I'm saying? But Mitchell Robinson gets a pass every single time. Every single time this guy gets hurt, or every single time he has a bad game, nobody says anything. Nobody makes a complaint about his effort. But every time he does have a good game, they'll let you know that he had a good game. And as time goes on too, I'll mention the Cleveland series where he had a big time Cleveland series. But let's talk about the Miami series where he didn't do shit in that Miami series. The same playoffs on run. Then people want to go to, oh, he had a good defensive series against Embiid and stuff like that. Of course, he got hurt, but then didn't make it to the Indiana series. But I think the Indiana series, I don't think he would have made a difference because you're talking about a guy that all he's bringing is offensive rebounding and just being an athlete, pretty much. That's it. What could he have done, to help us win that Indiana series if he was healthy? What could he have done? He's not going to be an option on offense, and he's not going to stop the center that they had. He shoots threes, not even worth mentioning his name. They have centers there to shoot threes. They have guys that move the ball and stuff like that. They shoot a lot of threes, a lot of up-tempo style basketball. Mitchell Robinson would have been a non-factor in that series if he played. That's just my opinion. You don't have to agree, but the way people talk about Mitchell Robinson, you would think that he's Patrick Ewing. I don't even think Mitchell Robinson, forget looking at stats. I'm talking about impact in a game as far as the errors are concerned. Marcus Camby, Mitchell Robinson is not on Marcus Camby's level at all. You want to talk about Tyson Chandler? I'm not a big fan of Tyson Chandler. I never was. You know what I'm saying? But Tyson Chandler's a better player than Mitchell Robinson. You know what I'm saying? You keep scrolling down here, see what I'm talking about. So this is just an interview here. I'll just push play. Iron Bagley talking. He just says, I don't think this is news that came out of nowhere. That's what I was going to say earlier. This news did not come out of nowhere. We all knew that he was going to be hurt and possibly miss the start of the season. But now it's for real. So now I see people doing emergency podcasts. I see the what's his name, Dexter Henry doing an emergency podcast with somebody. I think they're on right now. Oh, it's an emergency podcast. But when other things are happening, we don't need emergency podcasts for that. But Mitchell Robinson is out possibly for half the season. Now this is an emergency type of thing. We all knew this whole year that we needed a center, not a backup center. We needed a center. Mitchell Robinson he's just not good, bro. I just don't understand. He's just not good. How many players in the NBA could do what he can do? You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about, oh, he's the best offensive rebounder, Eru. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, yo. You know what I'm saying? I hear you. What else can he do? He can't make layups. You can't give him the ball and tell him to make a layup. You can't give him the ball and tell him to make a play for somebody else. He doesn't make anybody better. He's not protecting anybody out there on the court. He's not making his teammates better, protecting them at all. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't know what's happening. What is the draw? What's going on? I just don't understand what's going on with Mitchell Robinson. So I saw a super chat. Let me just see what the super chat is. That's Mr. Paris Duggan, my man. He said, Eru, I see you. And he said, listen, I'll take Randall as center with these forwards, OG Bridges, iHeart, and Mitch. Our athleticism and switchability will dominate. Absolutely. So that's why I don't get. We need emergency podcasts and all this other stuff. But we all know the writing is on the wall that Julius Randle's going to play a lot of center. Because we all, OG and Josh Hart, they did a great job, starting at the forwards for us during the playoffs, man. This goes without saying there. Mikal Bridges is going to find his spot somewhere. Right now, we got him penciled in at the starting two guard. He might get penciled in at the starting small forward, and DiVincenzo might still actually start at the shooting guard. You know what I'm saying? So somebody else might be going to the bench or whatever. Julius Randle at the present moment, he probably should start at center. So there's a lot of options that we got for this Knicks squad. Even Mikal Bridges can come off the bench. It doesn't have to be automatically Josh Hart. This so that I mean, that's all up to Tom Thibodeau to figure that out. You know what I'm saying? But like Paris is saying here, thank you for the super chat, man. He said, well, the Knicks have options. Us losing Mitch Robinson is not the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? Not for nothing. We could find anybody that could do what Mitch Robinson does. Somebody with NBA experience. And there are quite a few, not quite a few, but there are some names available. One name I could just throw out that's always available is JaVale McGee. JaVale McGee, whatever you want to say, oh, he's not that good. Come on, he's getting old, this and the other. But JaVale McGee could do exactly what Mitch Robinson does. He could do exactly what Mitch Robinson does. One thing about JaVale McGee is I trust JaVale McGee to score if the ball comes to him. JaVale McGee could put the ball on the floor, make a little move inside and score. JaVale McGee can still run the floor. JaVale McGee can hit a mid-range jump shot sometimes. So I wouldn't mind having JaVale McGee here. And then just keep Mitchell Robinson in his stash and just wait to trade him at the trade deadline. That's where I'm at with Mitchell Robinson right now. Get JaVale McGee in here because if something happens, a fight out there or something happens where we need to protect our guys, JaVale McGee will be more ready to protect our guys than Mitchell Robinson will. Another guys, there's plenty. There's a couple other names out there, that we could throw out. I don't necessarily care about that. You know what I'm saying? I just want to get through this, man. Steve Popper, another sports writer, that people love to have on their podcast so we can get their insider information. He goes, speaking with an NBA trainer. Speaking with an NBA trainer. Let me take Paris Doug out here. Speaking with an NBA trainer, he says last week, right? Told him that repeated foot and ankle injuries with a big man like Robinson are an issue. No shit, Sherlock. And then he says caution and rehab is needed, and even that is no guarantee for a 7'1", 200. And now he weighs 280 pounds. Player who jumps isn't going to re-injure it anyway. So I mean, it's an issue, right? But speaking with an NBA trainer last week, he tells me that reoccurring injuries to your ankle is a bad thing for a center. You know what I'm saying? Whoa, Steve Popper, thanks for the insider information, you motherfucker, you. But yeah, let's get Steve Popper on the show next week so he can tell me some more bullshit. Hey, Steve, what do you think about this? You know what I'm saying? Whatever, dude. So I mean, obviously, anybody that keeps re-injuring us the same injury, that's a bad thing. I don't need an NBA trainer to tell me that. If you keep injuring, listen, I'm not an NBA player, but I've lifted weights and I've played basketball, I've played sports and stuff like that. I've done a lot of different things, but I know that I keep hurting my knee. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always going to be hurting my knee. I tore my left ACL and my knee has been bothering me lately, off and on because I've been gaining too much weight. I've been working out a lot too. So I scaled back my workouts and just really working on building the strength of my knee without any braces or stuff like that. I'm trying to build the base strength of my knee without having any knee straps or anything like that. So that's what I'm doing to better myself. And it's been working. Just to give an update on my own personal health, I lost 20 pounds, bro. I was 265 pounds. We'll talk about that in a second. 265 pounds at 5'10", 5'10" and a half. So I weigh almost as much as Mitch Robinson at my current height, which is no good. So right now I'm in the process of trying to work out and get my nutrition together, to get myself to where I need to be. You know what I'm saying? I will do that. And it's going to take time. You want to talk about Mitchell Robinson? Won't be back until January. I won't be back to like a weight that I feel that I would like to be at. I won't be there until January. Possibly February, but I won't be where I want to be. I want to say until January. So me and Mitchell Robinson in the same place. The only thing is that I'm not in denial about it. You know what I'm saying? And then nobody gives a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gives a fuck about what's going on with me. You know what I'm saying? But Mitchell Robinson, everybody seems to care everything with whatever he does is supposed to be so important. Just like a Steve Popper. Hey, I spoke to an NBA trainer last week, and he told me that ankle injuries are no good for somebody that's 7'1", like 280 pounds. Like, man, it's what the hell? So this is what Mitchell Robinson is doing. Social media is a thing. Like, I'm on social media right now. I'm on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm on Twitter all day long. I'm on Instagram. I'm on all of them doing whatever. So Mitchell Robinson goes on here and he posts this video here. It's just a cryptic video. I'm never gonna get into it too much, right? But he's basically saying like, God, I got a lot I want to say, but I'll just leave it in your hands and everything. Not everything needs a reaction. Peace out. And I'll get into that in a second. I'm gonna, I just like he continuously does this. These little subliminal posts, and then he goes, "Oh, I wasn't talking about that. Oh, I wasn't talking about the Knicks. I wasn't talking about basketball. Oh, come on, man. You guys are haters. Oh, don't worry about it." That's where he's coming from with these posts and stuff. Happens every time. It's been happening his whole career. So anyway, as we keep it moving, like who's gonna be on the contingency plan behind Mitch Robinson? There goes Mitch Robinson in the middle with his got pictures with his head down. Such a sad state for the Knicks, right? We got Jericho Sims. I'm fine with Jericho Sims, filling in that center. Precious, I don't want him playing center. I just don't think he's a center. I would like to see him in the mix as far as power forwards is concerned. Julius Randle, I really don't want to play in center either, but I think Julius Randle could play center. Shout out to Trav B. Ryan. He hit me up on Twitter. He hit me up and said that if Sabonis could play, he just put it on his Twitter. This is Trav B. Ryan. He said, because this is my insiders, Trav B. Ryan, from the person that made the Die Hard Knicks theme song. He goes, well, if Sabonis is on the Sacramento Kings and he can make all-star teams and nobody has a problem with him being center, then Julius Randle could be the small ball center in the East that we need, that's going to get us to where we need to go. You know what I'm saying? That's my insider. Steve Popper. I spoke to a trainer last week. Quink wink. I spoke to a trainer last week. Paris Duggar is okay with Mitchell or with Julius Randle playing center. You know what I'm saying? Julius Randle could play center. If Sabonis could play center with his no defense having ass, you know what I'm saying? Just because he could rebound and pass the ball, Julius Randle could rebound too. He could score. Not for nothing, Julius Randle busted Sabonis' ass and he takes it personally. So I could see him playing center for us, and I have no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Definitely have no problem with that. Sliding it down to the other guys here. We got Ariel, the rookie that we just picked up. He'll be in the G League. We'll see what he can do. You know what I'm saying? He has a lot of little things he needs to clean up, as far as his pivoting and legs and getting strong and that type of thing. But he has skills that Mitchell Robinson could only dream of in the post. You know what I'm saying? And that's not even saying much because Mitchell Robinson has no skills in the post. Athleticism and things aside, and feel on defense aside, I don't think Ariel has that. But basic skill that NBA players should have at the center position, Ariel has that. So that's a developing thing. We'll have to see how that goes. But we got OG. OG could defend Embiid, and he did well. He did so well, in the playoffs. Precious did the same thing. Between Precious and OG in the playoffs, when they got a chance to guard Embiid, they were fine. They were fine guarding Embiid. And of course, Mook is here, so we don't know how if Mook is even going to make the team. But if Mook makes the team, we got another guy that we can throw in there just to be strong enough, to play center a little bit to give us a spell if need be. You know what I'm saying? Also add Chuma, Chume, whatever his name is, that we picked up from Orlando, under the same contract that Mook has. Maybe he might make the team. Maybe and then he's 6'7", I believe, or 6'6". He's kind of short. Mook is kind of short too. But these guys are good enough to play center in 2024, 2005. Excuse me, 2025 NBA. And that is what it is, man. So just keep it scrolling on here. So let's get into Mitchell Robinson's Instagram. So this is what he does. As we know, you see a lot of cars and stuff. He has 164,000 subscribers. To compare, I have he has like 100 times more followers than mine. I only have 1,600 subscribers. He has 164,000. So that's like 100 times more subscribers, right? So anyway, just put what he's been doing here. So recently he posted the typical photobomb post here. Everybody getting ready for the season. Is getting about to be that time. It ain't January yet, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks season starts in October as far as training camp and preseason and stuff like that. But it's almost that time. Nah, it ain't January yet. You know what I'm saying? That's when we're expecting you to be here. You know what I'm saying? But here he goes here with his cars. I'm not hating. He loves to post his cars. That's cool. Shout out to the beautiful baby that he just had recently, growing family and stuff. He posted these things. I mean, this is what people post on social media. You know what I'm saying? But it sounds like hate, but just look at what I've been posting recently. The last time I posted something was on vacation here. This was months ago. This was in July. 8 weeks ago was the last time I posted something on Instagram. Why was that? Why is that the last time I posted something on Instagram? Because I got other shit to do, bro. I got things to do. I like to do this YouTube stuff. I took like a long break on YouTube, because I just had things I need to get myself together on my personal side. So I mean, Mitch Robinson's personal side, is basketball. You need to learn how to shoot free throws, fam. You need to be able to score on the inside a little bit. You need to work on how can you be an option on offense if the ball is passed to you. You have to be able to fix those things and get better. Like when does he do that? When does he do that? So me, I had to stop it a little bit because taking a look at this video here, you can barely see it. It's on the left hand side here. This is me trying to teach my son how to shoot properly. But as you can see, I could barely look at my stomach hanging off out of my shirt there. I'm exhausted trying to show him how to whatever. Then I get the ball on the side and I try to show him how to the rhythm of shooting here. So this is what I'm trying to show him here. I'm trying to show him the rhythm of shooting. I said, listen, I missed it because dad is fat. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like this breaks me down, mentally. So I had to stop. I had to take a break from posting so much and put my own health into my own hands. So like I said, I lost 20 pounds. I lost 20 pounds since this time here. You know what I'm saying? And about I lost 20 pounds in about 6 weeks, I want to say. I've been working extremely hard, my nutrition and I'm just working out, trying to get my body together. So I'm 20 pounds lighter than this right now. So I feel good right now and I'm working really hard. Like I said, I'm planning on losing another 30 pounds, before by January. You know what I'm saying? And then, it's gonna happen. But that's what's important in my life. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, where is the priorities here with Mitchell Robinson as far as basketball and stuff like that? Because if you want to talk about his career, when has he gotten better? When has Mitchell Robinson gotten better? He hasn't gotten better. You know what I'm saying? Like people want to say, "Oh, Ero's still posting the same shit." The guy's always talking whatever. Yeah, but my thing is, I have other things in my life that's priority over this podcast. So you're not going to see like all of a sudden I'm in the studio. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden I'm doing some elaborate shit. You're not gonna see that because like this podcast, I love it. It's definitely high on my priorities because I love to do it. It's something that makes me feel good to do. But it's not gonna be over my job. It's not going to be over that. Now my health, I took my health and I put my health over this pod now. So now, the pod is even over my job at this point. Not the pod, my health is now above my job now because I had so many different things above my health. So now I got my priorities in order. Now, my thing is with Mitch Robinson is his priorities in order. I understand injuries aside, he hurt his ankles. Okay, that's fine. But when has he gotten better? And why do fans love this guy so much? All because he's effort, because of the effort plays that he makes. I don't know, man. But listen, I got to tell you, I'm tired of talking about Mitchell Robinson because, as you can see, I just did a quick Google search of diehard Knicks Mitchell Robinson. You got definitely a lot of pictures here of from pods that I did. Injury alert. This is back a while back when he had like the stress injury. He'll be out 6 to 8 weeks. This was during the season last year. Hartenstein versus Mitchell Robinson. People still to this day saying that Mitchell Robinson is better than Hartenstein. I just don't get it. Like you don't pay Hartenstein what you paid him in OKC if Mitchell Robinson is better than him. There's another one. Like this. Look, there's two different pods. This one here and this one. The two different pods of me talking about Mitchell Robinson versus a Hartenstein. Scrolling down here, I got Mitch and Knox and Mitch. So like I said, I've been talking about Mitchell Robinson for years now. Frankly, I am tired of it now. I'm over it. Here it goes again, strength at center, and I got Hartenstein again versus Mitch Robinson. You know what I'm saying? And then just like Eru, you can see that. I don't know if you can see that. It says Eru underneath Mitch because Mitch is making that face. So he's like Eru talking about me again. So I addressed it so much, man. People call him the block nest monster. He barely averaged 1 block last year, 1.1 blocks, I believe. If you want to look at his stats. I'm just tired of it. This is more pictures of me talking about Julius Randle and these things here. You know what I'm saying? Just to even scroll, just go to my channel just to see more pictures. Priorities. Mitchell Robinson wants to hoop. Knicks want to win. So this is when Mitchell Robinson was saying, "I just want to hoop, man. I'm out here doing cardio." Do you remember that? Remember when Mitchell Robinson, they got me out here just doing cardio. I want to hoop. Like, man, what is going on here? Here's another video here where I used an ambulance, the NYU ambulance here. And I also had State on that pod, and I had Guard Up Knicks on that pod. And we were talking about Mitch Robinson and injuries. So he was out for the season. This is 3 years ago. Out for the season, with injuries and stuff like that. So here's another question to me. He goes, Mitchell Robinson again. Mitchell Robinson's muscle. He ended up, this is one of the years where he got hurt. and then he came back, and he said he gained weight, he added muscle, he added 20 pounds of muscle, whatever how many pounds he said he added to the thing. So you blew both your ankles, and your idea of getting better was to add weight to your body. I like, come on, man. What are we talking about? Here goes another video of Mitch Robinson market value. This is when everybody was saying, pay that man. Shout out to Evergreen. Me and Evergreen, I curse Evergreen out in this video here, about Mitchell Robinson, because I'm tired of talking about the motherfucker, about how much money he deserves to make and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody wants to pay this dude. Shout out to Evergreen. Everybody wants to pay Mitchell Robinson, but what has he done? Well, what has he brought to the table? I just don't understand. It almost makes me want to scream. Just more videos here. It just makes me want to scream. And like I said, right now we got Dexter Henry and Jonathan Macri on the New York Post still talking about Mitchell Robinson, the emergency live, because they don't usually do live podcasts. So you have to do an emergency live to adjust the Mitchell Robinson deal. So I mean, like, what is happening here? Look at CP here with his hand covering his face, talking about Mitchell Robinson. I mean, like, we're not talking about Patrick Ewing. Does anybody know who this guy is? We're talking about Nerlens Noel, right? Anybody know who Nerlens Noel is? Nobody could care less about Nerlens Noel. Would you rather have Mitch or Nerlens Noel? Let me tell you something. Nerlens Noel has hands of stone, can't catch the basketball, and this, that, and the other. But one thing for sure, when Mitchell Robinson was out, Nerlens Noel had every excuse to call out sick. He could have put in a personal day or something because he was hurt the whole year. But he showed up and he basically saved our season because we had no talent on that roster, and Nerlens Noel was protecting that rim and doing what he needed to do at his skinny frame, and held it down while Mitch Robinson was out for most of the year that year. And also Mitch Robinson never even made it to the playoffs that year. We're talking about the year when we played against Atlanta. Nerlens Noel was the one that saved our season that year, including Jericho Sims and whoever else was on the team at the time. Nerlens Noel is the one that saved our season. But nobody talks about that. We keep talking about how Mitchell Robinson is this, the block nest monster, this, and the other. Mitchell Robinson has yet to impact the playoff in such a way where we're like, oh my God, if we don't have Mitchell Robinson, we can't win. Like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Hartenstein, like I said, Hartenstein ended up getting his bread. There was just a video last week of a couple days ago of him playing pickup and stuff, and people automatically hating on him, saying, "Oh, he's gonna go back to his regular self when he gets to the end to the season." I'm like, "Damn, son! Like, really? Like, just straight off the rip, it's like, oh, fuck Hartenstein, he don't play like that in real life. He's gonna go back to his regular self after." It's just weird. Like, why is it that? But then Mitchell Robinson is like, "Oh my God, emergency podcast."
Last week, guys, I spoke to a NBA trainer, and he said, like,
really, dude? Like, what is, so I mean, I'm just looking around the league, right? Looking at the Celtics, who do you have at center? They got Kristaps, he barely played. They ended up having Horford. So Horford retired, so Kristaps is going to be there. Who else do they have at center with the Celtics? You don't never hear nothing about them needing to get a center. You know what I'm saying? They probably should get a center, to fill in. They probably should. Looking at the Bucks, they got Brook Lopez and they got Bobby Portis. So those guys are good at center. They also can play Giannis at center too sometimes, so they're good at center. Cleveland Cavaliers, we all know Mitch Robinson owns the Cleveland Cavaliers centers. He might, but the best ability is availability. That's what people say, right? So Cleveland Cavaliers have more than one option at center that could fill in at a high level. They can make all-star teams and everything, on that roster. So I mean, it's few and far between. We're talking about 4 teams here at the top, and Cleveland Cavaliers are one of the few teams that actually have center options. The Orlando Magic, they went and signed 2 centers this offseason, and they already had one signed already. So they have 3 quality centers that are all better than Mitch Robinson. You know what I'm saying? If you want to talk about pound for pound, being able to impact the game on both sides of the basketball, Orlando Magic have 3 centers on that squad that are better than Mitch Robinson. The Indiana Pacers also, I keep forgetting Money's name. I guess I'll click it to see if I can find his name here. So we're talking about what's dude's name? Miles Turner. Miles Turner, soft as a Twinkie felon, whatever you want to say. But the dude could shoot threes. He could fake the shot, drive and dunk it. So little things like that, added to the table. They're set there. They're pretty good at center with just him there. Can Mitch Robinson impact the game on both sides of the ball? No, he cannot. So I mean, Indiana Pacers are better than us. Of course, Philadelphia went and signed Drummond. They signed Drummond again. So they got 2 centers that could rival Mitchell Robinson on the basketball court. And potentially, Drummond in his NBA career could still give you a double-double. He did it last year. He might not be the smartest basketball player, but he still can get you a double-double at any given time, on the inside. And you can give him the ball, and he can score a little bit if you give him the basketball. But, is he the smartest player? Is this defense the best? No. But at the same time, if you need to get rebounds and block shots, not block shots, scoring on the inside, he could do that for you. Miami Heat, as we know, they don't have a 7-footer, but they got Bam Adebayo. The Chicago Bulls have centers there. I could just go down the line. I can go down the line. Like I could pluck centers here. The Brooklyn Nets to have a good center. None of these guys have you could say that Mitchell Robinson is better than anybody else that I could throw at you. Even some of these lower level teams like Detroit, Washington, and Charlotte. They have centers that are young that basically do the same thing that Mitch Robinson does. But somehow Mitch Robinson is the greatest center that ever lived. Like I said, to bring it back to the beginning, it's to the point where people say, yeah, what Nick could you bring back to help this team? They say Melo. It's the obvious answer is Patrick Ewing. Like if we had Patrick Ewing, we would run the gauntlet. If you brought Melo here, we would just be, we'll kind of be the same. But we really need help at center. So nobody said Melo. Everybody said Melo. Nobody said Ewing. I think one person said Ewing, and he said, "Yeah, I guess you got to say Ewing. Ewing is one of the best players ever. I guess." Oh my God. Anyway, scrolling down here, I just want to kind of just get through it. Let's look at the playoffs. The last couple of years, real quick. We're talking about since Tom Thibodeau's been here, we've been in the playoffs 3 times, right? So we lost in the first round, lost in the conference semis twice, right? So that's 3 years in the playoffs, right? So 3 years in the playoffs. Let's see what Mitchell Robinson's contribution was the last 3 years in the playoffs. Just in the playoffs. Oh, only 2 years. So he missed 1 year. That was the year in Atlanta. So he played back-to-back years here in the Brunson era here. 27 minutes per game last time. Look at the stats: 6.5 points per game, 1.2 blocks per game, not even 1 assist, not even 1 steal, 9 rebounds per game. More offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. 5 offensive to 4 defensive, right? Free throw percentage 39%. From the field, he shot 60%. For somebody that doesn't do anything but dunk, he shot 60% from the field. So how is this like stats that are even worth talking about? Look what he did last year. In only 6 games due to injury, 2 points per game, 2.8 points per game. I'll give you the 0.8. He goes to 1.2 rebounds per game. He did actually get a steal, half of an assist, 6 rebounds per game. 3 offensive and 3.8, 3.8 offensive, 3 defensive rebounds, 6.8 rebounds in 19 minutes. If you boost that up to 36 minutes, I guess those stats do well. But you're talking about fouls per game, the fouls, he almost foul out every single game. And like I said, the free throws, you can't trust him to score free throws, and you can't trust him to score the ball at all. So you're talking about somebody that's averaging 2.8 points per game with only 19 minutes. Even if you double his minutes and give him 40 minutes per game, you're talking about a guy that's going to only give you, 5 points per game. I'll give him 6. Say 6 points per game in 40 minutes. Like, yo, I mean, I don't know, man. So I mean, let's be transparent with myself here. Everybody usually makes 80 hours every 2 weeks, 40 hours a week, right? The last 2 weeks we'll do it like that. So 8 days out the week, I worked 11 hours, 8 days out the week. Excuse me. Let me start this over here. How do you do that? All right, so listen, I did out of 8 days out the week, oh my God. One more time, out of 8 hours a week times 8 days out the week, I did 11 hours, right? So that's 88, right? Then 2 days out of the 2 weeks, I worked doubles. So that's basically 16 hours a day, right? So that's 32. So let's add 32 hours to that. 120 hours. I worked 120 hours the last 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Out of 80, so I basically did 40 extra hours. So I basically worked an extra week in the last 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I basically do that all the time. I do it all the time. So that's how I was bringing up my priorities list, like as far as health, as far as sleep, as far as my kids, as far as my wife, as far as working, as far as this podcast, things like that. How do I figure out what to do? Because I'm basically giving my time for money. You know what I'm saying? Mitchell Robinson is an NBA basketball player. So my thing is, what is his excuse not to get better all these years? What is his excuse? You know what I'm saying? But people constantly give these basketball players excuse. Oh, you don't know what they do out the day, this, that, and the other, this, and the other, whatever. I know for one thing, he's not sitting at a job, doing a job in the field, whatever, working 120 hours, and then on top of that, have to fit in my health, got to fit in my regular job. My job stuff, I got to fit in my health. I got to fit in my kids, my wife. I got to fit in my social stuff. I got to just figure out how I'm going to call my mom or call my dad. I haven't spoken to my dad in weeks, not because of anything, it's because he's just not on the priority list, for me, whatever. So my thing is, what is the priorities with these basketball players? And what is the priority with the fans? What do you want? What do you want out of your basketball team? What do you want out of your players? So anyway, this is just my long drawn out thing here about Mitchell Robinson. But I just think it's necessary. I just think it's necessary because every year it's the same shit with this guy. And every year I got to keep talking about the Block Nest monster and oh man, Money Mitch. Oh, he's gonna do this, that, and the other. Oh, what are you crazy? You don't know what you're talking about. Mitch Robinson is this, that, and the other. I just don't get it. And then like say Robert Williams, right? Robert Williams was with the Celtics. He kept getting injured. They got rid of him, yo. They got rid of him. Robert Williams is on Portland Trailblazers now, and the Portland Trailblazers trying to get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? So you don't keep guys like this around. Guys like this, you don't keep around. Yes, he's on a nice contract. That's fine. But you don't keep guys like this around. Because you cannot rely on him. Mitchell Robinson should have been traded years ago. We should be moved on from Mitchell Robinson years ago, bro. So now we're talking about a guy with chronic injuries in his legs and stuff. Now we're probably stuck with him. Unless he's added to some kind of trade, later on in the season, probably right after he comes back, right after he's cleared to play. I bet you, we'll start to see more active trade rumors to get him up out of here. You know what I'm saying? And Mitchell Robinson's not going to be traded to the Celtics or traded to the Bucks or to a rival team. The Knicks will make sure that they'll find a trade where he gets traded somewhere else. He'll get an opportunity to play, but he definitely won't be interfering with what we're doing. At least I hope that's what the Knicks do. Not feel like Phil Jackson where he traded Shump and JR to freaking Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? So they can win championships, stuff like that. So anyway, I'm not a hater. I'm just speaking from what's happening here. And I'm just over it, guys. I'm over it. I'm over talking about Mitchell Robinson. I'm over defending Julius Randle all the time, whatever. So now our starting center, guys, I'm ready. Julius Randle's our starting center. It is what it is. Jericho Sims, he's been in the league long enough. He needs to step up and be the backup center. And then that's it. I think Mitchell Robinson should never play another game with the Knicks. That's my opinion. Hopefully, that the Knicks can figure something out, and make it happen for him. Maybe in the playoffs, if he's healthy, we can put him out there and he can give us some minutes, on the way out, and help us win a championship this year. But I'm not relying on this guy to play any kind of significant minutes. And right now, he is not in my plans at all, Mitchell Robinson. He's just not on my plans. So, I'm done my ranting, man. So I'm just going down the list here. I just want to say what up to whoever popped in here. I see Julian Bloom is in here laughing at me in the beginning here. I see my man Kev. He said it's too bad he played in the Jordan era. Yeah, you're talking about somebody else from before. But shout out to Kev, man. Kev is my guy. Played in Ewing. He's talking about Patrick Ewing. Played in the Jordan era. It is what it is. Ewing had a great career too, man. He's a two-time gold medalist in FIBA basketball, USA Olympic basketball. He's a two-time gold medalist. You know what I'm saying? He's had his accolades, high school, championships, college championships. He's going to be a Hall of Famer if he's not a Hall of Famer already. I don't really remember. You know what I'm saying? But, it is what it is, man. Generation JL, shout out to him. I hope to see you soon, man. Hope everything's doing good. You got King Ribby in the place. Man, thanks again, Paris Duggar. You got Animal Lex here. He says, we should have signed and traded Mitch when we had. Yeah, man, the era of Mitchell Robinson should have been done with a long time ago. Like I said, this guy, Frank Ntilikina, man, like, pull up the old tweets and stuff about the arguments that people used to have about this kid. It's embarrassing to look back at it. It's very embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what to say. Shout out to App. He says, let's just say I don't think Mitchell Robinson will be retiring as a Knick. Hey man, it's nothing bad about him. If he gets traded, it's fine. Players get traded. Like we traded Quentin, whatever his name was. I don't even know who he was. And Kevin Knox, we traded him. Frank Ntilikina is not on the team anymore. So guys can go and whatever, and go on and spread your wings and do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Mitch Robinson, he can go to another team and do what he does too. What is the connection? Why do we need to keep Mitch Robinson around? I just don't understand it. Shout out to Knicks fan Brazil. See, Knicks fan Brazil, man, like I miss you, bro. Shout out to you. Hope everything is doing good if you're still here. But I don't have time. I don't have time to hit you up. I just don't have it. Like right now, I got a little bit of time to do this podcast. Right after this, I got stuff to do before I go to bed because I got to get up tomorrow morning at the before God, to get to work tomorrow morning. You know what I'm saying? To do my 11 hours for the next 4 days, and then I got to do 16 hours on the fifth day. So this is my life. So like the priority, don't feel bad if I don't hit you up. Don't feel bad if I forget something that you asked me to do, and maybe I might have forgot it. Don't feel bad because listen, man. Like I'm out here trying to survive on this earth. I'm out here trying to survive on this earth, and meanwhile we guys here that to get passes, and all they have to do is play basketball. I just don't get it. So I mean, this is a fact too. He'll come right back, and people will be excited, and he's gonna get hurt again. Like not even before the playoff, he'll get hurt again before the trade deadline. How about that? Unbelievable, man. Shout out to Jackal. He said this center position could really be a problem for us this year. I don't know about that, man. I think the Knicks are good. Like I said, the Knicks could sign JaVale McGee today, and we'll be fine. And we don't even have to do that because according to some of these guys that we got here, we got Precious, we got Jericho. We got OG that could play. We got Ariel that we could call up. We got Mook if we decide to keep him, and Julius Randle. So I think we're good money. I think we're good. We don't necessarily have to do anything. Shout out to Brooklyn Butch here. Yeah. You guys are snapping on each other here. That kid won. Downplaying Mitch is crazy, man. Listen, man, I don't know what to say. I don't know what's downplaying him. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? I'm dead ass. Like it's almost to the point where I'm like I'm like furious talking about it. But I'm trying not to be disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is like downplaying. But I don't understand how you could downplay somebody that shoots 37% from the free throw line. I don't know how you could downplay somebody that you give him the basketball and he can't make a simple layup. With if even if defense is on him or not. Somebody that his only asset on offense is being athletic, being able to catch and dunk. Even now he doesn't even do that because he makes takes too many risks jumping at the rim. Outside of that, he doesn't do nothing else, man. The Knicks don't do enough pick and rolls with him. You don't do pick and rolls with a guy that all he does is that. What about all the other players that we have? We don't have time for that. We don't have time to be babying this one freaking bum. Shout out to Regular Joe, one of the best guys on the internet, I gotta say. Regular Joe, shout out to Regular Joe and Guard Up Knicks and stuff. I'm on one all the time, man. Not for nothing. I'm on one all the time. But this Mitchell Robinson debate, man. Like I say what I have to say on my channel. Like I try not to talk about it on other people's channel because I get upset. And then like even in person, I just, like people talk about Mitchell Robinson, I just walk away or I just don't say anything. Because I'm not gonna get into a fight. I'm not gonna use my okay, I went to jail for fighting for my family. My wife needed my help, so I did something. My kids needed my help, so I did something. Mitchell Robinson, you disrespect me over Mitchell Robinson take. I'm not going to jail for that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just walking away. I'm not even gonna say anything, because it's just not even worth it. So Mitch is in shape. You not. Yeah, but like I said, the transparency. Does Mitchell Robinson work out in the field for 120 hours outside of playing whatever he's outside of playing basketball? So if Mitchell Robinson had to work 120 hours and then train for the Knicks, then I could see that it's hard. You know what I'm saying? But all he does is train work out. All he does is work out for money, and he doesn't get better. How? You know what I'm saying? How? You know what I'm saying? How does that happen? How do you not get better and that's your job to play basketball? I just don't get it, bro. Hey, hit that thumbs up button, man, for those on the way out. I just want to make sure I get these comments here for anybody has anything to say here. Shout out to On Deals as always. Big support. Top Notch T, what up, man? He says Mitch and Sims got to get their offensive games going for us this year. See, Top Notch T, thank you for popping in, man. Thank you for having a good avatar too, man. I always get on you guys about not having an avatar. You gotta have an avatar, man. That way people can get to know you on these pods and stuff. So Top Notch T, man, gotta get their offensive games going. That's crazy at this point because Jericho been in this league for a while too. So how long is it gonna take for these guys to get it popping? How long is it gonna take? How many more years? We still developing guys that are in their late 30s. I mean late 20s. I mean, I just don't get it, man. Oh my God. So shout out to Faith Life Sports. He says, Eru, how are you? How are you, Bis? He means boss, but I mean it could be how are you, Biz? Biz. I don't know, man. So shout out to Knicks fan in Brazil dropping $2 on the kid. He says, I agree with you, my bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, like I said, I miss you, man. I miss you. Wish I had time to do stuff. I was outside all day. Shout out to Steph. Steph hit me up to do a pod, and then right after Steph hit me up, Tony hit me up to do a pod. I was out in the streets. I couldn't, because like I said, I work in 11 hours a day. 16 hours sometimes. So like on my days off, all the stuff that I should have been doing or I could have done that I needed to do during the week, I can only do it on one day. You know, on because I'm off. I'm usually off Sunday and Monday. For those who want to know. I'm usually off Sunday, Monday. Sunday, everything is closed. Monday, everything is open. So if I have anything to do, I have to take care of it on Monday. Yeah, so that's my life. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't understand. I just don't understand. Tony says he hasn't got much better, but he is elite at what he does. Unfortunately, getting hurt is one of the yes, yes, yes. Yeah, Mitchell Robinson is offensive rebound. He happens to be the best one. That's dope. As far as defense, his instincts, he might have the best defensive instincts in the league. As far at the center position, I give him that. But one of the other things that he does really well is get hurt, and he does that at an elite level, and I think that's hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Taj Gibson is back. I saw somebody posted that earlier, man. Mitchell. Shout out to Tibbs. He's in Charlotte. Taj Gibson, I should say, he's in Charlotte. Basically setting up his life after basketball. So that's cool for him. Yeah. So I already mentioned this, man. I'm not even gonna say nothing else about it, Tony. Because we don't beat Cleveland without Mitch, but we also lose to Miami because of Mitch also. So got to give it up. Scap, my man Scap, I think we traded him. The Westchester Knicks traded him to another team. So Scap is not with the Knicks anymore. Kessler, if we would have traded for him, he would be here already. JaVale McGee, he's always ready to play. Cousins is interesting. D12. I saw somebody mention what's money's name? Dwight Howard. A lot of these guys are available. I wouldn't want Dwight Howard, but I mean these guys are available and they can still give you the same shit that do you think Mitchell Robinson can do? I don't so understand. Shout out to Walter White. He says we'll be fine until the deadline with Sims. And I'm saying Bataze is better than Mitch is crack smoke. I don't know, man. Like just look at some games where what's his name? Gago, whatever his name is, Gigi, whatever his name is, Bataze, whatever. When he played for Indiana, there was games where he dominated the Knicks and basically, beat us or either almost beat us. Games, and when he played for Orlando, the same thing. Games we came in there, not dominated, but play really well, rebounding and blocking shots and shooting threes on us. You know what I'm saying? So from that skill set alone and his ability to be a goon and stuff like that, those extra added things to the game. Yeah, I would rather have him than Mitch, bro, to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's not saying much. It's not saying much. Mitch Robinson, you might think is better, but I would prefer to have Bataze, on the team, than Mitch right now. Sliding down here. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, I'm just talking, man. I can see the chat and stuff. I'm trying to give love to you guys now. Well, as I'm scrolling through here, so Turf Dome, he says Mitch Robinson doesn't show up. I mean, whatever, man. He doesn't show up in the stat sheet. You know what? Like I said, they know another player they used to say that about. That's another player that they used to say, oh, Frank Ntilikina's contribution to the game doesn't show up in the stat sheet. Man, that is like one of the most tiredest things to say ever in basketball. Shout out to Dope Sport. Like I said, Steph asked me to pop in the pod. I just couldn't. I was outside doing running errands that I can't run during the week because I just have things to do to keep myself and my family alive. You know what I'm saying, during the week. So I don't have time. So today I basically had to do all the errands that I wasn't able to do last week. I had to do it all today. Between shopping, between running out and taking care of other things that we need to take care of. So I mean, it is what it is. Could you imagine an NBA basketball player not being able to do things like that only once a week? You know what I'm saying? But meanwhile, these guys are free to do anything they want at any given time, and they still can't get better. I just don't understand. Ah, yeah. Just scrolling through here, trying to get down to the end. Ah, yeah. So yeah, we're basically up out of here, man. So I just want to say what up to any new faces that I see. I say, Mr. Realistic, and that's why KP has a ring before us. KP is also hurt, also, man. So like I said, Boston Celtics has their own problem. You know what I'm saying? Mitch Roberts, Chris Stapps has got to prove that he can play for like at least like 70 something games would be nice. At least make it be available for the playoffs. Chris Stapps has yet to prove that. So they have their own problems over there in with the Celtics. But the Knicks are still, I think the Knicks are better than the Celtics, regardless if KP is there or not. You know what I'm saying? Just keep scrolling here. All right, so he was a double machine and on his way to a defensive season before he got hurt. Mitchell Robinson, at no point in his career did he ever average a double-double. You know what I'm saying? At no point in his career, Mitchell Robinson average a double-double. I'm gonna sound like Dr. Umar. At no point in Mitchell Robinson's career did he ever average a double-double. At no point in his career did he ever average a double-double. At no point in his NBA career did he average a double-double. You're talking about a guy that averaged 24 minutes per game. That's basically half the game. He got you 7.9 rebounds for his career, 8 points per game for his career. Okay, so hey, guess what? If he averaged 36 minutes per game, he would get a double-double. But guess what? He can't, because he can't make free throws. And he can't do other things on the court that you could rely on him to play 36 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And not for nothing, NBA center is not against it's not like against the basketball gods for any center to average 36 minutes per game if you project their stats, and it'd be a double-double. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy like Bitadze that somebody mentioned, if you look at his 36 minutes per game stats, he has a double-double also. You know what I'm saying? Guys like Doliak back in the days averaged a double-double if you project the stats to be whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, what are we saying? What are we saying there? So anyway, scrolling down, I'm trying to see anybody else new. So that's it, man. Definitely thanks for you guys for popping and making comments and stuff. I'll let Dope Soul talk to Walter here. She says because Walter White says something. He said we don't need offense for my centers. I heart average 8 points, and if we were healthy, we are Eastern Conference bound. Okay, we got to get an all NBA center. What's the cost? We don't have to do that. So anyways, let's let Steph finish him off here. She says we might not need an offense from our centers, but it helps that they can pass the ball and at least have a little floater or in the pick and roll, a little floater. At least be able to finish with a layup without having to make this acrobatic dunk that he's going to possibly miss, get fouled, and can't make the free throw. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. At least be able to hit like a little baseline jump shot, or get the ball in traffic and turn around and throw a little hook over the top. It doesn't have to do it all the time, but at least do it like maybe once in a while. At least show that you can do that, and he just can't. And I'm just tired of it. I'm tired of talking about it, and I'm going to try not to talk about it anymore. Mitchell Robinson is not my plans, guys. So, I'm going to finish up the pod now and not really take up any more of your time. Once again, shout out to Rebecca Haarlow again, for her taking her career by the horns. She wants to develop her company, so she left the Knicks. Not on a bad note. She left the Knicks because she wants to concentrate on her own company, because her priorities are higher now. That she needs to fix her house and make sure her business is working on all cylinders. So she's devoting all her time to that, and much respect for that. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with me. I was getting fat, you know what I'm saying? Too fat, that I couldn't take it anymore. I didn't like the way that I felt. I don't feel confident. Whatever you want to say about that, I was all along those lines. So I took my own life into my own hands here, and I lost 20 pounds in the last 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying? I'm on pace to lose, get down to 215 from 265. You know what I'm saying? So once I get down to the weight that I want to get down to, don't be surprised if you don't see me chest naked more often on this channel. You know what I'm saying? Because it's time to get myself together. And Mitchell Robinson, hey, I know you hurt your ankles and stuff like that, but it's deeper than that, man. When are you going to get better as a basketball player? While your ankles are hurt, let's work on some footwork. Let's work with a coach that can help you develop hook shots and that type of thing on the inside, or little layups or whatever, little things like that. Learn the game, watch tape, instead of making cryptic posts about like stuff like this, God, I'll be able to talk about it one day, but I'm gonna leave it in God's hands. Like, man, miss me with that shit, miss me with that. But anyway, this is your boy Ebru, the High Knicks podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Dexter Henry podcast there, the emergency podcast talking about Mitchell Robinson. Thank you guys for tuning in to Knicks Fan TV with his hands over his head. Mitchell Robinson is hurt, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to anybody else that did pods today. We're talking about Mitchell Robinson, basically wasting time, but that's what people want to talk about. They want to talk about Mitchell Robinson and his impact on the Knicks and how the Knicks are in trouble now. We need to pick up somebody, you know what I'm saying? But, it is what it is. I love the Knicks. I love talking about it. I love you guys a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But, the Dire Knicks, 4 fingers to the forehead, taking a dumb salute. Shout out to Chad B. Ryan on the Dire Knicks outro. Thank you for your contribution to the channel. Thank you for your contributions on Twitter also with the stuff that you say. Always great comments on Twitter, Chad B. Ryan. But, yeah, man, I'll see you guys next time. And Die Hard out. Peace.
Ebru, I see you. Die Hard. Trap. We gonna do this one the right way. We in here forever. Yeah. Die hard. Homie, die hard. You can check the swag, he the realest by far. Swimming in that blue and orange, he the lifeguard. Yeah, he been through pain, at least he got some nice scars. He can smell the trophy, yeah, he need it back to back. Represent himself, his own name is on his back. 10 toes down, try to stop him, he come back. Bandwagon hoppers, he will knock you off your tracks. You ain't saying nothing, Nero been here from the start. He been working in the lab to take his team and make it art. See him going over film to help him build and make him smart. He will tell you how he feels because he's real and he got heart. He will never fade away, he will never change his face. Everybody picking faves, and he's feeling out of place. Cause he is for the team, and he always rep the squad. Like that Christmas movie, he gon' always die hard. City on my back. They ask me what's my name, and it's on my back. I'm just speaking facts. We got big dreams, we ain't looking back. We be really die hard, yeah, that's a fact. We be really die hard, ain't no going back.